Hello and welcome everyone. Good morning, a very good morning, and hope you all had a great Diwali break. So now let's get back to the sessions and
Hello and
well,
welcome everyone. Good morning, a very good morning, and hope you all had a great Diwali break. So,
okay. Was there an echo for anybody
Yeah,
else?
sorry, that was from my side. You can go on.
Okay, yeah. So, welcome to Bright Beginning Toastmasters Club and our session today. So, my role as SA today is to welcome you all. And before we start the meeting, I would like to mention the three ground rules, which would be please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode when you're in the meeting. Please keep yourself unmuted unless you are speaking. And as Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics and do not cross talk unless it's absolutely required. So let's begin the session today. Over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Arjun.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you for joining us in this exciting session. And I'm excited to see so many people joining us today. I thought we can have a word with all these people. Hey, Sanskar is also here. Hi, Sanskar. And what do you have to speak about? I guess we'll speak to the guests first. I think we have a guest here to be Toastmaster Ashish. Hi, Ashish.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Are you a Toastmaster already? Are you joining as a guest?
No, actually, I had joined as a guest. Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hi. So this is your first meeting.
Yes, fortunately, that's my first meeting.
Great, great. All right. And anything about what you're expecting, your purpose for joining here?
Uh, Nothing as such. I haven't defined the purpose yet, but yes, from quite a long time, I'm actually looking for a platform where I can, possibly express my views and improve my oratory skills, which is very much the need of the hour. So came across this platform, so thought to give it a try, and that's the reason I'm attending this virtual session. And really keen to know if you guys also meet in person, or you have any place where you guys have your weekly connect, because then I'll possibly get an opportunity to uh, get a platform experience as well.
Yes, we do meet hybrid every 2 weeks, and we will be having an offline session soon. I'll let you know. And yes, we also have Atufa as a guest. Hi, Atufa.
Hello, hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, I believe this is your first session as a guest. Can you hear me, Atufa?
Yeah, you're saying something?
This is your first session as a guest, right?
Yeah, this is my first session as a guest, and this
All
is my
right.
first session also on the Toastmaster. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Anything about what you're expecting, what you want to achieve today?
Uh, okay.
uh,
So, yeah.
Atufa, sorry to interrupt you. May I request you to turn on the camera and shoot with Ashish? Guys, let's talk face to face. It's good to have that engagement.
I might need some time
Let,
for that. Can you please continue and then come back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me so that I can open my camera?
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
All right. Great, Azufa. And with that, I think we should begin our meeting. We have an energetic and our newest Toastmaster who will be taking up the role of team on today. And I think she has a pretty interesting theme planned. She was asking me some questions about it also. I won't take up any more time and I'll hand over the stage to our brilliant team on today, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Hello, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. I welcome you all to today's amazing session. Did you guys get the theme for today? No? Yes, maybe?
yes. Yes.
Okay, so what is the theme about? What is the theme today?
The power of listening.
Yes, the power of listening. But don't think it's a session or it's the theme all about active listening, be attentive, posture, gesture. What is an undermined power of listening? That it makes you look more attractive. Because when you listen to somebody carefully, you just don't become interesting. People become interested in you as well. Do you have that favorite audience in that you like to look at when you are speaking? Gaze at someone who gives you energy, and that gives you energy back that, yes, as a speaker, I want to give more. So today's topic is the power of listening and how to look more attractive as an audience, so that the speaker is pushed to give it all to you, and you learn much more from the session that you actually would when the speaker finds you, you know what, I feel the audience is not interested. I want to tell them more, but I think they are not trying to engage more. Probably they don't want to listen more. I think I'm done, and the speaker will leave. So there is a scope of learning when you look interesting as an audience. So let me know if anybody would like to share their experience. How would you want to look more interesting as an audience? Please feel free to unmute yourself. Don't let me go through the decision-making fatigue of choosing someone. Yeah, Shanak, please go ahead.
So, Meenakshi, first of all, thank you for choosing such a relevant topic in today's environment when the world is full of chaos, voice, interruptions, and we are losing the ability to listen to ourselves, listen to what our spouses or children are saying. In fact, matter of fact, anyone who is speaking.
Yeah.
We are always in a constant hurry to reply. And believe me, I have faced a lot of problem because of that, whereas I'm not trying to understand the message other is trying to give me, and eventually I have done same thing which the other was trying to stop me from, or telling me not to do it or to do it other way around, and then I have to rework that back. And it's not one of the cases, there are a lot of cases in day-to-day life. And somehow then I start introspecting myself that this is my own mistake. I'm in such a hurry to respond back, whereas I'm not even able to understand what actually the requirement is, what actually the question is, what actually someone is trying to communicate with me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shaunak, for that amazing self reflection. Absolutely correct. Sometimes we listen just to respond, but there is somewhat underlying emotions as well to conversation, which if I'm not paying attention to, I might miss out. So, definitely, we will talk about this more in detail. I have Bob raising hand. Yes, Bob, you want to share something?
What I've felt is that these days, if you do not have your mobile phone in your hand, if you're not looking at it, you can't listen to people anymore. I mean, everybody you're talking to, they're like they're basically actively looking at their mobile phones like this, and they're going, yes, yes. So if that's not happening, they just zone out. If you do not have your mobile phone, you just zone out. You just don't listen to people anymore.
Absolutely. That is so correct. What is it which distracts you, even if you're not looking at your mobile phone, but you have it in your hand? Your body language is telling you that there's something more important here than listening to the person. So when we listen, how do we become more attractive as an audience? That we listen not just with our ears, we listen with all our five senses. So we will talk about this more in a few minutes. But before that, I would like to tell our guests that this meeting will be divided into three sections. The first section will be our prepared speeches, where we will have two speakers delivering their prepared speech. The second section will be about the table topics, where our guests can participate as well. And the third section is about the evaluations. So, what do we have in evaluations? We will listen from Harsh, our general evaluator. Toastmaster Harsh, would you like to explain your evaluation team and introduce the tag team as well? Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Meenakshi. What a wonderful theme for the day. Hello, everyone. For everyone's uh, purpose, I am the general evaluator for
हाँ
the day. I'll be
आया
giving the overall evaluation of the meeting. And for that, I have a beautiful and exciting tag team with me. For timer, we have Toastmaster Sanskar, and who will be taking the language evaluator.
I will be language evaluator and timer is Vidhu.
Okay. Uh, Sorry for that. So the timer for today is Toastmaster Vidhu, and the language evaluator is Toastmaster Aryan. I'll hand over the stage to them to explain their role. To you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster Aryan. Uh, let's start with Toastmaster Vidhu for the timer role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harsh. Hi, everyone. So, I will be the timer for today, and my role is to help the speaker stay within the allocated time and ensure that the meeting does run smoothly. So, we have I'll be displaying green, yellow, and red card. Green means that you have met the minimum time required, and the yellow means that you're approaching towards the maximum time, and red means time is up and you have to wrap up, be it your speech or table topic. And we have specific timeline guidelines for both our prepared speeches. So prepared speeches has to be delivered within 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes I'll display a green card, 6 minutes I'll display a yellow card, and 7 minutes I'll display a red card. For table topic, it's 1 to 2 minutes. So when I'll display green, it means it's 1 minute already over. For yellow, it will be at 1.5 minutes, and green, it will be 2 minutes. And I'll be displaying these cards. I'll share my screen, and you can see what is the current timing whenever you're delivering. And thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Aryan, for your language evaluation role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. As the language evaluator, I'll be performing two roles. The first one will be as the accounter. As the accounter, I'm responsible to keep track of any filler words in all speakers, and I will present my report at the end so that you know what patterns you are following in your filler words that you should keep a note of. And the second role I'm following is as grammarian. As a grammarian, I'm responsible to note good usages of grammar, bad usages of grammar, and also give to you the word of the day. And the word of the day today is resonate. Resonate is a word that is associated with the light bulb moment, something where somebody says something to you, and just because you're listening to them well, you have a flash of insight, and suddenly things all make sense. I'll give you an example of the word in the chat as well, and that is our word of the day. With that, back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan and Toastmaster Vidhu, for explaining your roles very clearly to the audience. And with that, I hand over the stage back to the team on Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Harsh, and all the role players. Thank you very much for taking up these roles. Definitely, it makes our meeting much more meaningful and interesting. Moving on, would you guys, before we go to our prepared speeches section, meet a guest today? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, since you're ready, I'll quickly introduce you to a guest. Have you ever seen this little creature? This is a fish. It is called an anablep. Anybody knows what is the specialty of this fish? Please do not Google. I will tell you if you don't know.
Is it the fish that flies out of the water, that jumps very high?
Oh, I wish I would want to be that fish. But no, she's not the one. Okay, let me tell you. Let's have a closer look at this little creature. So this is a fish which has got 4 eyes, and it is popularly known as a four-eyed fish. Why do you think it has got 4 eyes? Because if you watch carefully, 2 eyes remain above the surface, the water, and 2 eyes below the water. What does that mean?
So that she can see up above the water and below the water as well.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we are going to do when our speakers will speak, just to be more attractive as an audience. Don't just listen to the words, feel the emotion underneath that words carry. Listen with all your 5 senses. So, just a very quick activity before our speakers, a prepared speeches section begin. Would you guys like to train all your 5 senses to listen more effectively before we go to our prepared speeches section? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin. I'll do a quick sound check, okay? Thank you, everyone. Okay. So then one morning I woke up and I realized that my dog was missing. I remember last night it was raining a bit. And also door creak. Probably he might have wandered outside. So I decided to go take a stroll. And I went outside looking for him. And there were birds chirping outside. It was beautiful ambience. I actually enjoyed that walk. And a couple of minutes later, I could hear my dog barking from distance. I found him. And we both enjoyed that stroll with little bit of drizzling and really amazing walk. I realized there are a couple of things that we take for granted. Life is really beautiful. If my dog wouldn't have wandered outside, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the rain, the weather. I would have been cribbing about it, thinking, why is it raining? How will I go to work? So I went back home. I opened my refrigerator and I took a lemon, I chopped it. And I wanted to make a lemonade, but there was no time. So I squeezed that lemon directly into my mouth. That sour taste, it really made me wonder that life is really beautiful. We should taste it before it melts away. So, did you guys notice anything different? How many of you felt that you were there with me, walking into my story already? How many of you could taste that tanginess, the sourness of lemon already? Did you eat the lemon?
No.
No, but why? Why did you have that taste?
I could sense that from your own expressions.
Yes, because in this case, you all were that Anna Blip who did not just listen to my words, but were there with me in emotion as well. So let me introduce you to our first speaker of the day. And please make sure that you be the best audience, the most attractive audience that they actually want to have today. Because when you look interested, you become more interesting as well to the speaker. And this is the fastest way to grab attention of a speaker. Just imagine you are in a big concert, maybe Tony Robbins or speaker that you admire. How do you get noticed in millions of people? By looking more attractive as an audience, by engaging with the speaker. So let me introduce you first, the evaluator for our speaker number 1. So Toastmaster Gaurav, would you like to explain us about, oh, I think the role has changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
evaluator one is Ansuman.
Okay. All right. So, Toastmaster Anshuman, would you like to introduce the speech for speaker one? What is the topic?
Yes, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Meenakshi. So, Toastmaster Aryan, who is going to be the first speaker, is going to present the level one speech two of which is the evaluation feedback section from the engaging humor path. So the purpose of the project is for him to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during the club meeting. The purpose is also for him to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator, which he'll use to improve for the second speech he'll be delivering. I look forward to Toastmaster Aryan's speech. Timer, please note that the length of the speech is going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Okay, Toastmaster Aryan. Title of speech is Essence of Leadership. Essence of Leadership, Toastmaster Aryan. Stage is all yours.
I renamed myself to Speaker 2 because I hoped I would be able to change the sequence, but I failed. Raise your hand if you remember your first job. Raise your hand if you cherish it and you hold it close to your heart. Keep your hand raised if your boss also inspired you to drop out of college and pursue the job full time. Just me, I guess. I want to tell you a story that started almost exactly 1 year ago because in about 3 days it's going to be the 1 year anniversary of me getting my first job. So I was lost. I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. And I found this guy. He was a business person and he knew so much about business. And I began working for him for free. And just in a few weeks, he taught me an insane amount. Every day I would sit with him in the evening and we would still sit till 2 in the morning. He would have me at screen share and tell me every place to click, and in only a few weeks I could understand every way in which he would think. And a few weeks later he told me, Aryan, I won't be available for a month now. I am getting married. And after that I was very lost. He had been guiding me step by step, click by click, everything. And now I was not sure how I was going to go about it. Eventually, I called him and I told him, I don't know how to fix these problems. You've not taught me how to fix this. And he would say, call me at 9 in the night. I will explain everything to you. He would take 3 days worth of my problems and fix all of them in just 1 hour. He would give me a time frame that I thought is not even possible. He would take a deadline, he would half it, and then the following day he would half it again. But when I called him to ask him, how do I ever accomplish this? He would be able to do it in even less time. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this is one of the first good leaders that I was able to work with one to one. And this is where I began learning the importance of leadership. People who are good leaders are not good leaders because they sit on top like a CEO that is in the top of the palace, instructing all the workers on the ground to do their work. Good leaders work on the ground. Good leaders work with the people who work on the ground. And not only that, but they can show you how you can do much better than you are doing right now. And that is what he did with me. Not only that, good leaders set the cadence of how fast work can be done. This more than ever applies to Toastmasters as well. Because when you are the leader, you decide what level of work is reasonable. This is something I learned just a few months afterward when I became the VP head of our club. My mentor would give me all these directions about how a club is to be led, how many speeches are to be given. And I, at first, was not clear on what was to be done. But he gave me every step, everything that needs to be done for a meeting to flow smoothly. For a speech to be prepped enough that when I go on stage and when I deliver it, I can deliver it with passion. I can deliver it with good vocal variety, with a strong sense of myself on the stage. If I did not have my mentor in Toastmasters, I would not know what a good speech looks like. I would not know what a smooth meetings looks like. And we would not be having a meeting as good as this. Meetings as good as we do these days. And that is what leaders can teach you. That when leaders step into your shoes and take up your job, they can show you how to do it 2 times better, 10 times better, or even better than that. The essence of leadership is not in instructing somebody to do something, it's in showing them how it can be done much better than they imagine. And when you surpass their expectations, their standards of this should take about a week, right? And when you show it that it can be done in just 1 hour, it changes how they think. Because if you think about the greatest of leaders, people who've done insane shit, think about landing a space rocket back on Earth. Think about building a whole metro system in the underground underneath Delhi. Great leaders do something that people can't even imagine. People couldn't possibly imagine the best of experts that a space rocket could ever be back and placed on the earth. And when you become a leader, you have the opportunity to show to people why their expectations, their standards of what is possible is wrong. And that's what we do today. And so I want to inspire you all to do the same. When you take up a leadership role, you have the opportunity to show people how much better stuff can be done. You set the cadence of how many meetings there should be, how many speeches there can be a meeting, how much crazy new stuff we can try every meeting. And that's something that you have available to you in Toastmasters. That's something that you have available to you as a leader. Work on the ground, show people what is possible, and you will be able to achieve much more than anybody ever imagined. Back to you, Timot.
Wow, that was so powerful, such an amazing reflection of a great leadership. And also, Aryan, Toastmaster Aryan can give himself a little bit credit as well that he used the power of listening, listened carefully, read between the lines, not just listening to the instructions or the help that he received from his leader, but also absorbing those qualities by just observing and being an active listener. So, with this, let's move on to our second prepared speech. Who is excited for the second speech? Okay, so am I. So, the second, I would like to call upon the evaluator too, which I am still looking for.
I am the evaluator.
Okay, all right. So, over to you, Toastmaster Gaurav, to tell us more
Thank you.
about Akansha's speech.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. And Toastmaster Akansha, she will be delivering level 1 project 3 speech, and her speech title is The Broken Window. And the purpose of this speech is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well organized, well researched speech on any topic, and fill this room, resonate this room with energy and enthusiasm. Uh, Over to you, Akansha.
Okay, Toastmaster Akansha, the broken window, Toastmaster Akansha. The stage is all yours.
Sorry, I was muted. I hope I'm audible and visible. So, good morning, everyone. Now, do you all remember the movie Houseful 1? You know, the one where Akshay Kumar's character is such a jinx that even if he walks into a party, the light goes off, the cake falls, and chaos just follows him everywhere. Now, that was hilarious to watch on screen. But in real life, haven't we all felt that way sometimes? Like one small thing goes wrong in your day, and suddenly the whole world seems to fall apart. You wake up late, you skip breakfast, you get stuck in traffic, you forget your wallet, and boom, it's a disaster chain reaction. It's almost as if in life itself, small things start to attract more chaos. And it's like, that one thing goes wrong, the first crack appears, and then everything falls down. This represents something very real in psychology, and the psychologists, they actually have a name for this: the broken window theory. It's a very fascinating idea that says that when small signs of disorder are ignored, bigger problems start to take root. Like one broken window in a building, little bit of litter on the street, or a tiny mistake in our daily routine. And by doing so, we quietly invite bigger problems to move in. Because here's the truth: when something looks uncared for, even we ourselves and people, they start caring a little less. And that's when things begin to spiral. So today, I want to take you all on a journey through this idea. How it began with one small experiment, how an entire city used it to fight the crime, and how you and I can use it to keep our own lives from slipping into chaos. So let's rewind to 1969 when a psychologist named Philip Zimbardo decided to explore the human behavior in a completely different way. He wanted to understand what really causes people to cross that invisible line between order and chaos. Is it poverty? Is it upbringing? Or something much smaller and something much more subtle? So, to find out, Zimbardo came up with a very clever experiment. He took two old identical cars, same make, same model, same color, and placed them in two different, very, very different neighborhoods. One car was left in the Bronx in New York, which at that time had a reputation for being very rough. I mean, lots of crime, poverty, and social unrest. And the second car, it was placed in Palo Alto, California, a peaceful upper class neighborhood filled with, well-off people, law-abiding citizens. Now remember, these were identical cars, and the only difference was where they were parked. Then Zimbardo and his team, they just waited and watched. Within minutes of leaving the car in the Bronx, people started stealing the parts. First, the license plates disappeared, then the tires, and within 24 hours, the entire car was stripped and vandalized. Meanwhile, in Palo Alto, the car sat quietly. Day after day, no one touched it, no damage, no theft, nothing. It remained perfectly safe for an entire week. Now, so far, the results seemed obvious, right? Okay, poor neighborhood equals more crime. But Zimbardo, he wasn't satisfied. After 7 days, he decided to test something deeper. He went back to the untouched car in Palo Alto and personally broke one of its window with a hammer. Just one small crack. And that changed everything. Within hours, people started vandalizing that car too. Like the windows were shattered, parts were stolen, and the entire car was wrecked, just like the one in the Bronx. So, what did this prove? That once disaster begins, even something small like a broken window sends a silent message. No one cares, no one's watching. It's okay to break the rules. And that's when the real damage begins. But here's the deeper truth that Zimbardo uncovered: it's not really about the car, it's about human psychology. When people see neglect, whether it's a broken window, litter on the screen, or even when small rules are ignored, it sends a silent message that this place is abandoned and no one's responsible here. And the moment that belief sets in, chaos gets permission to grow, and disorder invites more disorder. Years later, one city decided to test this insight on a much bigger scale: the city of New York. So let's fast forward to 1990s in the New York City. Back then, New York wasn't shiny. The glamorous city that we picture today, it was wild. Subways covered in graffiti, crime rates were high, and people were scared to walk alone after dark. The city was drowning in complete chaos. And then came a police commissioner, William Bratton, who worked closely with the mayor, and they decided to try something that sounded absolutely or almost ridiculous at that time. Instead of going after the big crimes first, like murder, robbery, and organized crime, they went after the smallest ones: the graffiti, the fair dodgers who jumped the subway, the drunk guy who was shouting on the street corner. Most people, they laughed and they said, "Really? You are going to fix the New York City by catching people who didn't buy a train ticket?" But the police, they stuck with it. They started cleaning up the graffiti overnight, repairing broken windows immediately, and stopping anyone who tried to sneak in through the subway gates. No act of disorder, however tiny, was ignored. And slowly, something amazing began to happen. The streets, they started to look cleaner. People began to feel safer. Almost like magic, major crime rates started to drop. And by the late 1990s, the New York City saw nearly 50% reduction in serious crimes. The moment people saw that small stuff mattered, the big stuff began to change. Because when the city shows that they care about little things, the walls, the streets, and the rules, people start caring too much. When it looks like nobody is watching, that's when the decay actually begins. And this is where the broken window theory, it stops being about crime only, and it starts to being something about your life itself. Because the same principle that cleaned up the New York City can actually clean up our minds, our habits, and our daily lives. So let's step out of the New York subways now and into something much more closer, which is our own lives. You may not have broken windows or graffiti, but I am sure that you have your own little broken windows. Let's spot a few together, shall we? Think about the phone notification, that tiny buzz every few minutes. One message here, one reel there, and it doesn't seem like much, right? But those small pings, they silently break your focus and fragment your attention. And before you know it, you've spent half an hour scrolling and can't even remember what you were supposed to do. That's a broken window. Take your workspace. You tell yourself that it's just a messy desk. But deep down, clutter slowly clutters your mind too. You feel heavier and slowly less creative. Another broken window. Let's take our health. Skipping that one workout, it becomes the tiny crack. That one skipped routine, it spreads even before you notice. And perhaps this is one of the most fragile windows of all: trust. You miss one small promise, you tell one lie, ignore one small hurt, and soon the biggest and the strongest of the bonds they start to weaken. The point is that these broken windows, they don't shout for attention. They whisper. They sit quietly telling you that it's not a big deal. But that's exactly how bigger problems begin: quietly, gradually, and invisibly. So, what do we do about it? Just like the New York police, we fix the small things immediately. Turn off that notification, clean the desk, go for that walk, even if it's a short one, and say that apology that you have been trying to put off for a very long time. And when you do that, you put yourself and you send yourself a powerful message that I care, I am in control, and this matters. That's when the magic starts. Momentum builds and the confidence grows. It's not about being perfect, but it's about refusing to let the small things slide in. The broken window theory, it teaches us one simple truth: big problems don't start big, they start very small, like one crack that we choose to ignore. So today, look around your life. Find one small thing, a little habit, a promise, or a routine, anything that needs fixing, and fix it. Because that's where the real change begins. Not in huge resolutions or big dramatic moments, but in quiet, consistent repair. When you start mending the small cracks, life starts mending itself around you. And that's where the jinx begins to fade, one repaired window at a time. Thank you, and over to the Tamod.
Wow, such an amazing speech. I can already spot a lot of broken windows around me. So, thank you for that amazing learning session through your speech, and I really appreciate. So, who is ready for the next section, the most interesting one, where our guests can participate as well? Are we ready? Okay, let's move on to our table topic session. For that, I would like to call upon our table topic master, Toastmaster Shonak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Well, first of all, I request everyone to turn on your cameras. Well, the speeches are great, wonderful deliveries, such a beautiful content for today's meeting. But what is lacking is enthusiasm. So, guys, let's turn on your cameras. Come on, guys, you all are beautiful looking people. Why you want to shy away with that? Anshuman, Toastmaster Mayank, so happy to see you. Hi, Ashish, hi, Tufa, Nidhi, and Bob. Will you please turn on your cameras? Kshitij, wow, lovely hat. Bob, you're looking very handsome.
Thanks,
Kshitij and
Papa.
Nidhi, may I request you to turn on your cameras? Good morning, folks. Now that's the way to greet. So today we turn our attention from the voice that speaks to the ear that receives. In a world full of noise, interruption, and constant self promotion, the skill of truly listening has become a genuine superpower. And that's what Toastmaster Meenakshi is also emphasized on. It's how we build trust, solve complex problems, and deepen relationships. We focus often on great speakers, but today, let's celebrate what makes great listeners. Our topic will today will be more focusing on the power of listening. Let's see what happens when we focus on the power of listening. So let's start with Toastmaster Kshitij. Are you up for it? Kshitij? Toastmaster Kshitij, can you hear me? I think he is not around. Let's move on.
Toastmaster
Sorry.
Shonak just put it in the chat. He's actually unwell. He's on bed rest, so he can't speak.
Oh, Kshitij, get well soon, dear. Let's
Yeah.
move on to our second speaker. Unfortunately, Kshitij is not well, so he cannot take up that role. Toastmaster Vidu.
Yes, Toastmaster Shaunak.
If listening were a sport, what would your ranking be, Toastmaster Vidu? Toastmaster Vidu, if listening were a sport, what would your ranking be?
If listening would be a sport, what my ranking would be, I feel it will be something around 2 or 3. Reason being is as we grow up, we understand the importance of listening. And at least I would say that if you want to understand better about and respond better, right, listening is important. Over a period of time, specifically, I would say if we have so many married people here, the success of every marriage is to listen properly, right? So, for every married folk here, I can surely say that they will vote themselves as 1 and 2 in their head, right? But there is always a room for improvement in terms of how deeply we understand and resonate to the point of resonate better in terms of the other's point of view. And with this, I will hand it over back to you, Toastmaster Shaunak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vidu. That was really very interesting, and you said it very well. I would like to now invite our guest today. Let's start with to be Toastmaster Ashish. So, Toastmaster Ashish, are you up for it?
Absolutely.
Toastmaster Ashish, ever nodded like you understood but had no clue what you said? Ever nodded like you understood but had no clue what you said? To be Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak on the topic. Yes, it happens often with me whenever I, join a new organization and have gone for an induction. We know that, how sessions in the company inductions are fruitful, so-called fruitful, I would say. And there, when the details about the organization, about their process and the policies are delivered during the sessions, it completely gets haywire for me. I'm not able to resonate myself with the content that is delivered during those sessions. And that's not the only time when it happens. It happens like the other Toastmaster mentioned, in a marriage the listening is one of the key, plays a crucial role, which is certainly not the case in my relationship, because I myself is a blabber and I talks a lot, and having no tendency of listening to my wife, and that irks her a lot. She gets annoyed very quickly, because she knows that I always talk about myself and my stuff without giving an importance to her point of view and uh, the viewpoint. So yes, in such situation, in order to get an escape off from them, I always nod without even giving a care what she has actually mentioned or said it for me. So yes, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much to be Toastmaster Ashish. Now, may I like to invite to be Toastmaster and our guest today, to Atufa. To be Toastmaster Atufa,
Yes.
who's the worst listener to you, and what can we learn from them? To be Toastmaster Atufa.
I
To be
am the
Toastmaster.
worst. I am the worst listener here. I can see I cut you in between anyway. You were talking and I cut you in between. So I think I am the worst listener in my case, in my opinion. And what you should learn from me is that you should not cut people halfway. You should listen to them and take a pause and then speak. So yeah, that's what I'm still struggling and I'm trying to learn. And I'm
Thank you,
hoping to learn it here from you guys.
but I believe you still have some time. I suggest you make use of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, may I like to call upon our Toastmaster Meenakshi. What's the funniest thing that have ever happened because someone didn't listen? Toastmaster Meenakshi. Toastmaster Meenakshi, what's the funniest thing that has ever happened because someone didn't listen?
Oh, I've got collections of funniest thing happening all around because my mom is someone who doesn't listen. Probably I don't have that kind of voice and accent that she understands really well. So, though my mother and I talk in Hindi, but whatever I say, she turns it into something really very funny and asks me, "Did you say that?" And first, I'll have a good laugh, and then I'll get back to her that no, that's not what I said. So I think this is something which makes my conversation with my mother really very interesting because I don't know what's coming up. What I am going to say could be really tense that, you know what, I am unable to find my objects. I have got a meeting. And she's like, what? Did you say that you did not eat yesterday? So anything random can come up anytime. And I think that's exactly what I need, or we all need sometime. Little bit of humor in that miscommunication, but don't stress about it. All you have to do is just take a pause and check whether the person has listened to you. If not, then just be okay with repeating, because I think I used to get really irritated and have to repeat the things. But this is eventually I learn that in order to be a good listener, you need to understand that sometimes there could be a gap about how you speak. So be okay to repeat. Try something different next time. if you think that the person did not understood the first time. So definitely, life is a laughter for me every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Toastmaster Mayank, are you up for your table topic?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If you could mute one sound in life to listen better, what would it be? To be Toastmaster Mayank. To be Toastmaster Mayank, if you could mute one sound in life to listen better, what would it be?
Well, if I could mute one sound, it has to be typically my wife. Her constant nagging onto you haven't done this, you haven't done this, you haven't done this. When are you coming? When are you going? Etc. 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 I wish I can mute that sound to a certain extent, but it's only temporary phase, yeah. Because after a point of time when you are not part of Toastmasters meeting anymore every week, you need someone to talk to. So it's just that the option that okay, mute be available and not permanent mute. Last week she was in hospital, fighting with a difficult bacterial infection, which is very rare in Delhi NCR. And I was telling to her cousin sister, shit, yeah, I had such a great opportunity that I could have a new one, but she's going to recover, man. I'll have to manage and tolerate her. It was all said in a laughter because they know that yeah, I keep just putting in such jokes around. But yeah, you know what? While you may feel that your spouse is the one who needs to be put on mute, but the day they decide to go on mute, you're gonna have a really tough time. Because after a point of time, your friends are less, families are few, it's only you and him or her where you can have some good time, where you can do some bitching about some family members, friends, relatives, or just talk it out your heart. So yeah, it's only an option to mute and unmute, but not a permanent mute one. Thank you, and back to you, table topic master. Correct.
Thank you so much to Toastmaster Mayank, and I hope she's recovering well now. And I hope she's not around.
No, that's why.
Else you'll not get time to recover back.
Right.
So, may I like to invite our guest today to be Toastmaster Nidhi. Toastmaster Nidhi, would you like to take up a table topic?
Yeah, sure. I'm not to be Toastmaster. I'm already a Toastmaster.
Oh, perfect. Toastmaster Nidhi, what would your face say when you pretend to listen? What would your face say when you pretend to listen, Toastmaster Nidhi?
Um, that is actually a wrong topic for me because my expressions are quite uh, very expressive. I share my recent experience with you. Day before yesterday, we visited one of our clients, and later to that, we organized one event and which I was supposed to trigger. One of our uh, clients member, he barged into the meeting and he said that I'll take only 5 minutes. And in order to take 5 minutes explaining his agenda, he took almost half an hour. I was looking at him constantly. I wanted him to understand my expressions, but being a salesperson, he was not trying to understand. He kept on babbling, babbling, babbling. And my manager, he understood. So obviously, what was there in my mind? I wanted to go for event. We invested lots of money in that event, and obviously, we wanted return. And that guy, he also knew that they have a next meeting after this, and that is actually very important. This is their event, but he was not trying to understand because he wanted to solve his purpose. So the moment meeting was over and we were heading for the event, my manager told me that why were you giving such a deadly look to him? I told him, see, you understood, but he could not understand it. So though he was our client customer, I knew that is a long-term relationship. I wanted to hide my expressions. I was just looking at him, listening to him, trying to listen to him. Probably he also understood that I am giving different kind of look. I want this meeting to get over, but he was not trying to understand. But my manager, he made it out. So I can't hide my expressions. I am very expressive personality. I am completely an open book. Thank you so much, Shashank.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nidhi, for sharing this wonderful experience. Toastmaster Gaurav, would you like to take up a table topic? Well, I don't give you an option to say no. Toastmaster Gaurav, who is who in your life deserves a best listener award and why? Who in your life deserves a best listener award and why, Toastmaster Gaurav?
Okay, once again, it's not a correct topic. I think okay, it is the reverse. Okay, that I would like to give my wife because every time, every day, whenever I am speaking with someone, then he always, why you are speaking so much, why you are this engaged on the phone. Then I would like to give to my wife only, and I'm a by the way, I'm a good listener. I speak less and I listen more. And what I do, I just I try to listen each and every person, and I give most of the time in listening only. And I speak less, and I try to speak maybe this 5 or 6%, and I listen around 90 to 95%. And I want to improve my quality because listening is a good quality. And if you want to grow and if you want to improve in yourself, then you should inbuild this quality. And because it's very difficult, listening is very difficult. You cannot listen because you also have thoughts and ideas, and you want to share these ideas with the other person. Then it's a difficult one, but I want to give this award to me, not to others. Over to you, Toastmaster Sonak.
No, you can self-nominate yourself. I mean, I really admire. I know, while we converse, you are a very good listener. To be Toastmaster Bob,
Yes, Sonak.
are, what song lyrics would describe your listening skills? To be Toastmaster Bob, what song lyrics would describe your listening skills?
Song lyrics. I'm drawing a blank as to the songs, but just thinking about songs, I am actually more into soft music and reggae. So my listening skills would be probably, if you look at the reggae music, it's kind of fast paced, but has a lot of rhythm to it. So I like to listen things in a very fast pace. So even when people are talking and they're going very, very slow, it kind of bores me and I get distracted. So when people are going at a more than a little bit faster paces, when I'm mostly attentive. Otherwise, I kind of get tend to zone out on what people are saying. So just like the music that I like, which is a little bit on the faster side, not very slow and not very fast either. So that those are also kind of music that I'm not very fond of. So my listening skills are kind of in that zone. Now, when it comes to active listening, uh, I'm also one of those people who become very used to having that phone in front of me when I'm trying to listen to people. If I don't have that, I tend to get distracted. So that's what's happening these days with the listening skills. That's about it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Shona.
Thank you so much, to be Toastmaster Bob, and say hello to your daughter. She is very cute.
Say hi.
Hello, Toastmaster Hirsch. I was
Yes.
missing your, you know, was excited to hear you. If your ear could talk, what would they say about how to use them? Toastmaster Hirsch. Toastmaster Hirsch, if your ear could talk, what would they say about how to use them?
Take those earphones out. I need to breathe. That's what my ears would constantly scream at me. Because if I'm not sleeping or not watching uh, TV, my ears are constantly having this earphones, whether it be scrolling reels or watching a Netflix show or talking to a friend. These earphones are what keeps me connected to that world. So much so that it has become part of my body itself. I watched, I remember watching a movie about Kung Fu where they said, imagine that the sword is another extension of your body. Well, I think I have mastered that art, but instead of a sword, it's my earphone. So that's what my ears would definitely say to me that let me breathe. Back to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Shauna.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harsh. I think you should listen to your ears now. Toastmaster Anshuman, we've been missing you. Let's hear from you.
Yes, Toastmaster.
What one moment when listening saved you from the trouble, Toastmaster Anshuman? Toastmaster Anshuman, what's one moment when listening saved you from the trouble?
In my college classroom, as always, I was trying to grab some sleep by studying at night for quizzes. But little did I realize that that day my professor decided to mark us on the basis of the questions that he's going to ask that day. Not just 1 mark, 2 mark. He decided that that day is going to decide 5 marks for the term of that quarter. And in the middle of catching my sleep at the back bench, I faintly heard my name. I tried to ignore it, but just that day, I decided I will listen. And when I listened, I realized, oh my God, this is a question I know. And I was able to answer it, grabbing 5 marks easily. So that was one day, 5 marks, all due to paying attention to listening, helped me grab 5 marks. That may or may not apply to my marriage, but definitely that applied to a college classroom situation. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Shonik.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. Uh, Timer, do we still have time to take some table topics? We still have some participants who have not been appeared for the table topics.
I believe we can take two more topics, one for you and one for Akansha.
Perfect. So Toastmaster Akansha, can listening be no? Let's take Toastmaster Aryan first because it's connected with your topic, the speech that you delivered. Can leadership be a form? Can listening be a form of leadership? Toastmaster Aryan. Toastmaster Aryan, can listening be a form of leadership and how?
Yes, it can be because the most important part of leadership can be listening, because if you don't listen to the people who are below you, who are working on the ground, then you don't know what is going wrong. The most important responsibility of a leader is to go into the weeds, look at the problems that are most important and solve them. And if you don't know what is going on in the weeds, then how can you solve the problem in the first place? In our culture today, we have a belief that we know everything. Since we have social media, since we have AI, we have so much, we can feel that somebody else's opinion, what somebody else knows, might not be important. And the importance of listening is the humility that somebody else can teach you something that you don't know. And that is why two brains are better than one. That is why speaking to others, listening to others, and trying to find out how they see the problem in a way that you don't, how they might have a different perspective, how they might understand it in a more holistic perspective can change everything. That is how you can learn to solve problems much better. Because if you don't understand them in the first place, if you don't go through the humility to say that maybe I don't understand this well enough and I'll listen to somebody else in trying to understand it, then you won't be able to solve the problem. Back to you, TTM.
Very well said, and that's an extension to your speech as well. Toastmaster Akansha, Thinking of someone who made you feel heard, what did they do differently? Thinking of someone who made you feel heard, what did they do differently, Toastmaster Akansha?
I am going to share something which is which hurt me very, very deeply and is a grudge that I hold from years back. And now that I think of it, maybe more than 10, 12 years. So I'm in class 7th, and me being me, that is Akansha Gautam, I have always been somebody who was over enthusiastic about being on the stage. So there was this debate competition that we had to prepare for, and I was representing my club, and the topic was something I don't remember exactly, but it was something about foreign culture versus the Indian culture, and how the foreign culture is creeping in and destroying our own. And that's where, the love for the country or desh prem came in. And when love for country comes in, there is no better person to be on the stage to represent your club than me. Let me tell you that. So there was this wonderful debate that I participated in, and I had great points. And I was, like the entire audience, they clapped for 5 minutes because the closing was so amazing, and everybody actually believed what I said. And I actually won that. But after winning that, I come back to my class, and my class teacher, Ma'am Rani Sharma. I remember the name exactly. So, Ma'am Rani Sharma, she calls me out, Akansha, please stand up. And I thought that, okay, maybe she's going to praise me for the amazing debate that I gave and the great performance and for winning the Best Speaker award as well. But she goes like, Akansha, you are going to be a great politician one day. Because I'll tell you why. And I was confused. I'm like, is this praise, or is this seems a little sarcastic? She's like, because you are just like a politician who makes big promises and doesn't deliver. And I was like, doesn't deliver? What is it that I didn't do? She said, you forgot to bring the dustbin that you said that you will bring today. And she just went on and on, going on and on about this, that how I would be a politician in the future because I forgot to bring one dustbin. And that really hurt me, because that was supposed to be one of the best days of my life, and she turned it into completely different and made me a lying politician. So that is something that I still am very, very hurt about. And if I get a chance to confront Ma'am Sharma, I definitely would, even today after 10 or 12 years. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Shonak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akansha, for sharing this incident. Well, I suggest maybe if you are in touch with her, you can connect with her sometime and, express your outburst or thought, whatever it is. Don't hold yourself back. If there is something which is in your heart for so many years, it's better to, convey that. Anyways, so that's the end of the table topics. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm
Toastmaster
handing it.
Shanak, sorry to interrupt. I wanted to give you a topic if you're
Yeah,
interested
for
in.
sure.
All right, great. First, I'll open it to the audience if anybody has any interesting and challenging topic ideas for Toastmaster Shanak. If not, I'll suggest one of my own. Anybody? Okay. So, Toastmaster Shanak, for you, I have a scenario. 3 days ago, you decided that you were going to focus your whole day on listening rather than speaking. And on that day, you had an exam. You went to the exam, and instead of writing the exam, you chose to listen to the questions very well and submit an empty question paper. What happens next? Over to you, Toastmaster Sonak.
Oh, wonderful. Well, eventually that given me a thought that could, eventually be the case if just by listening and understanding the questions without even writing it, if you are able to pass that, I would have at least got some passing marks. But eventually, that's not the custom that we normally follow. And if I'll not write anything in my question paper, in spite of being understand fully what's been asked, and if I even know the answers, and if I'm not even writing it, I will get a 1 or 2 mark for the cleanliness to keeping the paper neat and clean, and that can be reused by some other candidate. So that's what I can anticipate. And the person who will be evaluating my question paper will pat my back for following the cleanliness rules, and giving a clean paper so that can be reused, without cutting even more trees and all. So that's the one thing I can think of, if I'll follow that process, just by understanding the questions without even writing it or without even saying anything about it. So thank you.
All right, great table topic, and back to you, Timot.
Wow, that was so amazing. All the topics that people talked about, all the stories resonated really very well with me. I think I've done that too, submitted a blank answer sheet because I thought the teacher is not teaching well. And if I secure 0 marks, that's the only way I can get my parents' call for, and I'll complain that, you know what? So I've done that already. So I resonated with all the stories, and I identified that, yes, people struggle with listening. So though we don't have a lot of time, but quickly I'll share with you how you can become more interesting while listening. So I don't want to run over time, but let's do this very quickly. Okay, here I go. All right, so it's a small audio visual clip that I'll be showing you. It's all about active listening. So
We cannot hear the audio, by the way, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
yeah, I think I've muted the audio. Just a second. Yeah, all good.
First, there was PlayStation, aka PS1. Then there's PS2, PS3, and now PS4. And that makes sense. You'd think after Xbox, there'd be Xbox 2. But no. Next came Xbox 360. And now, after 360, comes Xbox One. Why one? Maybe that's how many seconds of thought they put into naming it.
Can you get the butter, please?
However, with the Xbox One, I can control my entire entertainment system using voice commands. Up until now, I've had to use Leonard.
Then get the other one. Pass the butter.
Hang on. I don't feel like you're taking this dilemma seriously.
Fine, Sheldon. You have my undivided attention.
Okay, now, the PS4 is more angular and sleek looking.
No way!
It's true. But the larger size of the Xbox One may keep it from overheating.
You wouldn't want your gaming system to overheat?
No, well, you absolutely would not. And furthermore, the Xbox One now comes with a Kinect included.
Included?
Yes! Not sold separately. Although the PS4 uses cool new GDDR5 RAM, while the Xbox One is still using the conventional DDR3 memory.
Why would they still be using DDR3? Are they nuts?
See, that's what I thought. But then they go and throw in an ES RAM buffer.
Whoa, wait a second. Who's they?
Xbox.
You're kidding!
No, I am not. And this ES RAM buffer should totally bridge the 100 gigabit per second bandwidth gap between the two RAM types.
This is a nightmare. How will you ever make a decision?
See, I don't know. What should I do?
Please pass the butter!
So what did we learn? How do we look more interested as a listener? All you have to do is just match the body language. Yeah, Aryan, go ahead.
Repeat what they say with the question mark at the end.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that.
Repeat what they say with the question mark at the end. You say the same thing back to them.
Yes. So do you think the girl was actually listening actively? No. But did you realize that as soon as she started responding, the speaker became more excited? Yeah, Shanak, you want to say something?
Yeah, but the she was excited, but she was still thinking about the butter.
Yes. So not just Amy did not listen, Sheldon did not listen as well. If he would have given the butter in the first place, she would have been more engaged. So the worst kind of conversation is both the people dissatisfied. Neither person A gets what he wanted, neither person B gets what he wanted. But a good communication is you both get something out of the conversation. So that's something for us to think about, though she did try to look more interested in the conversation. How? By engaging, by reacting, by actually matching his energy, where she realized that, you know what, is he is excited about it. She showed the same excitement. Where she thought the speaker is confused, she showed the confusion as well. All you have to do is just match the body language. And there comes a time where speaker takes a pause. In that pause, you don't have to quickly grab your phone and check the notification. Just hold that space for the speaker. Try to understand what is the emotion the speaker wants us to feel. So just a very small tip that I leave you with today, that whenever you get that pause, when you are into an event where you are listening to a speech, try to understand your emotion. What do you see? What do you hear? And after listening and seeing, what exactly do you feel? What emotions surface? And that will make you a good speaker. Just like Anna Blib, don't just listen to the words, also understand the emotion underneath. With this, I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Harsh, for the evaluation of section of our meeting today. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. That was some incredible lessons that we learned today about active listening. And I'm sure everyone is going to take that lesson with them and become better speakers and better human beings. So, without further ado, let me start with the evaluation report. But before that, let me call my tag team for their report. I'll start with the timer, Toastmaster Vidu. Toastmaster Vidu, can you please come and share the timer report for the meeting?
Sure, Toastmaster Hirsch. I'm sharing my screen. For prepared speeches, Aryan took 5 minutes 55 seconds, Akansha took 11 minutes. For table topic, Ashish took 1 minute 26 seconds, Atufa took 30 seconds, Meenakshi 1 minute 27 seconds, Mayank 1 minute 39 seconds, Nidhi 1 minute 50 seconds, Gaurav 1 minute 10 seconds, Bob 1 minute 25 seconds, Harsh 1 minute 1 second, Anshuman 1 minute 11 seconds, Aryan 1 minute 23 seconds, Akansha 1 minute 45 seconds, and Shaunak 1 minute 10 seconds. Back to you, Toastmaster Harsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidu, for that very detailed report. Now I'd like to call the grammarian and language evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Aryan.
All right, thank you. I did not detect any filler words in the meeting today, so kudos to everybody. I will go on to the grammarian report. As for the word of the day, I heard it was used once by Toastmaster Meenakshi. Please point out if I'm missing any instances. Besides that, for the bad usages of grammar, I would like to point out two. One was I blabbers a lot. It should be I blabber a lot. And one of the other ones was one of our clients' member. It would be one of our clients' team members or one of our clients' member. I guess one of our clients' team member, yes. And for the good usages, there were many, especially in Toastmaster Akanksha's speech. I will point out a few. That's when the magic starts. Big problems don't start big, and especially I would like to point out the sensory experience that was carried out by Toastmaster Meenakshi was a great use of not grammar necessarily, but time, maybe you can say. And with that, back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryan. Now let's move on to the speech evaluations. For the first speech by Toastmaster Aryan, I would like to call Toastmaster Anshuman to share his report. Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Hirsch. So today, Toastmaster Aryan delivered a finessed speech, which is known for looking at two storylines of what mentorship and resulting leadership is all about. And Toastmaster Aryan, in his trademark style, was able to deliver it effortlessly. He started by talking about how his mentor one taught him the nuances of the work and how he found him to be dearly missing when his wedding was about to arrive, and how much influence the mentor had over his skills and ability to deliver work. And he ably transitioned to the second situation, Toastmasters, where mentor two was able to guide him on the nuances of playing VP education and how he learned all the nuances of how a Toastmaster meeting is conducted through the mentorship he received. So, Toastmaster Aryan's message of how important is mentorship, learning from the right folks, and absorbing that knowledge and then executing is important in terms of conducting leadership and life in general. So, overall, Toastmaster Aryan's content helped him deliver that message effortlessly. At the same time, Toastmaster Aryan falls into the tenured Toastmaster category now. So Toastmaster Aryan can experiment with his speeches, first of all, by maybe challenging himself to write down his speech, adding those little nuances which can make the speech spicy. So Toastmaster Aryan's speech was definitely finessed, but I'll suggest Toastmaster Aryan to use his vast toolkit of vocal variety, uh, extensive vocabulary which can make eyes sparkle, different metaphors, different researches, different similes, to ensure that the audience's connection to Toastmaster Aryan accentuates much more than it is right now. And secondly, Toastmaster Aryan can engage the audience. Uh, I know, like he asked the question at the beginning of, "Do you remember the first job?" That was fantastic. Engagement doesn't have to just be through question; it can be just through asking the audience, looking at some past memories, props, or just engaging through humor, some kind of engagement. So he started with great engagement, but then it went into flow. So overall, pretty well structured speech. The message landed well. There were two good stories about what the message is all about. What Toastmaster Arvind can challenge himself is making it more spicy through metaphors, similes, audience engagement, and ensuring that his speech stands out from his previous attempt. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Hirsch.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman, for that detailed report for Toastmaster Aryan. Now, I'd like to call on the stage Toastmaster Gaurav to share his evaluation report for Toastmaster Akanksha. Over to you, Toastmaster Gaurav.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, good morning, everyone. Today, I had pleasure of evaluating Akanksha's speech titled "With the Broken Window." It was resonated with energy and enthusiasm. The speech aimed to give speech on topic that you are not already familiar with, or that you wish to learn more about, or review basic research method. And you delivered a wonderful speech filled with lot of stories. Kudos for that. Your speech had several strong points that made it engaging, memorable, and with beautiful message of big problems start with small crack. We will not forget this speech for a long time, and I have a lot of commendations, and I have only few observations. Your speech was rich, vivid, and it was resonated with stories, research, energy, and the confidence. First, I would like to thank for using the reference of movie of Akshay Kumar to engage and grab the audience attention. Please keep using this in your future speeches. We in our ancient time we used to use this skill to spend time and to share our message effectively. Now, coming to the structure, your Your speech flowed smoothly. You had a clear beginning with the objective, along with the reference of movies. In middle, you shared three stories, and in conclusion, thank you for wonderful structure for your speech. Now coming to delivery, your facial expressions and gestures match the purpose of your story beautifully. Facial expressions were wonderful, and we can easily relate with your facial expressions, and you deliver your message beautifully. Now coming to the message part, the story had a clear takeaway that big problems start with small negligence. It was relatable and inspiring to everyone, and we all can relate with this topic because because most of the time we forget about the small thing. We also focus on this because we face problem just because of small things only, and we could have killed these small things in long back so that we can not face the same problem. Thank you for reminding us to improve ourselves. Next, I would like to thank for wonderful research you did, and you fulfilled the speech objective perfectly. You used the data of 1965, 1990, and the story you have used in your speech to deliver the message. Kudos for that. Please keep using these in your future speeches as well to share your message in a beautiful way. Now, coming to the recommendation part, to make your storytelling and to improve your orator skills even stronger, here are a couple of suggestions. First one is what you can do, you can just vary your tone. You have delivered your speech and your tone was constant throughout the speech. Second thing is that you use three stories. And instead of using three stories, you could have used one story with two and three short examples so that you can finish your speech within allocated time. Next, instead of sitting, what you can do, you can also stand up and you can just deliver your speech so that we can see the your hands movement. Your facial expressions were amazing, but you were unable to see your hands movement. These are the three recommendations that I would like to give. Overall, you delivered a confident, well organized, and inspiring speech with clear takeaway. Big problems start with small things. You clearly put your thoughts and passions in your preparation with one or two stories, and by changing your posture, your future speeches and oratory skills will undoubtedly captivate the audience even more. Congratulations once again on a wonderful delivery, and thank you for inspiring us today. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, for an extremely detailed report, giving all the well done parts of the speeches and recommendations as well. With keeping the time in mind, I'll keep my overall evaluation pretty short. But before that, let's quickly fill the form for the best role players and speeches for the day. Do we have the form link in the chat? All right. Toastmaster Aryan has shared the form link. I would request everyone to go and put on their votes for the meeting. I'll be giving the evaluation meanwhile. Starting with, I'm sure everyone is busy on the form, but I would request to have an active listening. We don't need to look at the screen, just listen. Starting with the time of the meeting, it started a bit delayed, not much. The agenda of the meeting was very clearly put, and what a wonderful theme by Toastmaster Meenakshi. She carried the meeting right from the start. She had strong very strong message and goal for the meeting and for the people present about active listening. And boy, did I learn something. 100%. She kept the meeting very, very interactive, showing pictures of that fish on the screen, of that talk of Sheldon and Amy on the screen, that kept the audience very engaged and at the same time very entertaining. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. I'm sure no one can call this as the first attempt, as your first attempt as a team art, and it would be very hard to believe for an outsider. You have a very calming presence, and it radiates the warmth which keeps everyone binded to what you are trying to say. And the message was very well passed on to the audience. Coming now, were the guests introduced? Yes, they were very well acknowledged and done pretty well. Coming to the table topics, table topic master Shaunak took the theme and created very thought-provoking topics for everyone. He made sure that every guest got a table topic to speak and made sure every member also got a chance to speak. So I'll give a quick evaluation of the table topics, starting with Toastmaster Vidu. She took a very creative turn and compared listening to marriage. It was very insightful and funny and very relatable to most of the audience. And she had a very clear summary. To be Toastmaster Ashish, he had a very confident tone and his story was relatable. He ended his speech quickly, given that it was his first speech, but it did not feel like his first speech at all. To be Toastmaster Atufa, who's the worst listener you know, she she gave a very relevant example. She showed that she is not a good listener, and that was a very creative way to for a table topic. One second. Toastmaster Meenakshi, what's the funniest thing that has ever happened to you because someone did not listen to you? She had a great hook, uh, uh, and a very good and personal story for the message. And the interesting part of her top of her speech was that she had a strong action point at the end. Not She did not end on just the story, but she gave an action point for the audience as well. Toastmaster Mayank, if he had to mute someone from his life, what a funny and interesting take that he would mute his wife. At the same time, he said that a partner is someone who is always needed, so he won't mute it forever. Toastmaster Nidhi, what would your face say when you pretend to listen? She said that she is very expressive, and that was very evident while she was giving her speech. Kudos to you. Toastmaster Gaurav, who deserves the best listener award. He took a very interesting turn of starting with that his wife would be the best listener, but came to a story and developed a story and pointers that eventually made him the best listener awardee. Great take. I would recommend to have structure at the while starting for giving the speech. To be Toastmaster Bob, what song lyrics would you describe your listening skills? That was a very difficult topic, but you took a interesting turn. And instead of giving a song, you started describing what type of songs you listen to and what matches with your listening type. Great take on that. Toastmaster Anshuman, when listening saved you. What a strong framework. You started by setting a very interesting in context of your school, of your college time, and how listening gave you 5 marks. It was a personal story which resonated with everyone. Great table topic. Toastmaster Aryan, can listening be a form of leadership? He used the prep framework so well. The I would say that was the only table topic which had a perfect use of framework. He tied listening with humility and how leadership means going on the ground and listening to everyone who's working with you and solving problems for them. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Kancha, thinking about someone which hurt. She also had a very, very strong storytelling framework. She set the context. There was a visible tension when the teacher, although she had won the debate competition, but the teacher was not happy and ruined her mood completely. Kudos to you. And last but not the least was Shaunak. It was a very difficult topic, I would say, to continue a story. 3 days ago, you were focusing on listening and you submitted an empty question paper, but you took a very interesting turn and said that you would get 1 or 2 marks for cleanliness. That was very interesting and a funny twist to the topic. That ends my report for the table topics. I try to keep it short. Coming to the evaluation sections, Toastmaster Anshuman and Toastmaster Gaurav did a extremely well job giving the feedback. I'm sure the speakers will had taken points for their speeches. Now let's move to the most interesting part, the results of the votings. I'd request Toastmaster Aryan to take that forward and share the results.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Harsh, for that evaluation. I believe we are missing two voters. Toastmaster Harsh, I believe you are one of them, and the other one, who is that? So let's just find out. Everybody who has given the vote, please raise your hand so we can find out who is this mystical missing voter. Toastmaster Shanak, have you submitted the vote?
Yes.
Then raise your hand, please. Let's see who is left. Toastmaster Anshuman, Toastmaster Nidhi, have you submitted the poll? Okay, we have Toastmaster Harsh has also responded. One missing voter, please complete the poll. The link is in the description, in the chat. You have to vote for the best speaker, best evaluator. And after the poll results, we also have a surprise that I will reveal. All right, I guess we have 11 responses, even though there's 10 people in this meeting
I
room.
am the one.
Who voted
I
twice?
missed.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Now we have a double voter. Somebody has voted twice, but we can ignore that for now. I would like to give a huge thanks to Toastmaster Kansha for helping manage the back end of the vote. And Toastmaster Kansha, would you like to take over the poll results, or do you want me to?
I think you should go ahead, Toastmaster Aryan.
All right. I just didn't want to share the results because it might be biased. It might seem biased. That's why. Anyways, getting to the Best Speaker Award. Any guesses? Toastmaster Gaurav, Toastmaster Shanak, who do you think won?
Yes, it's me.
It's you. Good guess.
Aryan and Akansha.
Aryan.
Both are winners. And the Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Aryan me. Thank you, everybody. All right. Next, we have the next award, which is the Best Evaluator Award between Toastmaster Gaurav and Toastmaster Anshuman. Any
Anshuman.
guesses?
Anshuman.
Okay.
Anshuman.
And the Best Evaluator Award goes to Toastmaster Anshuman. And next, we have a Best Table Topic Award. We have so many options here, 11 table topics today, and we have a two-way tie. Any guesses?
Aryan and Akansha.
And I have zero
Everyone
votes.
was good.
I have 0 votes, by the way, Harsh, so not even close.
Harsh and Vidhu.
Toastmaster Gaurav, any guesses?
Mayank.
Toastmaster Anshuman.
Mayank.
Okay. Toastmaster Vidhu, any guess? And the Best Table Topic Award goes to Toastmaster
Sonak.
Minakshi and Toastmaster Mayank.
To be Toastmaster Mayank, you should be excluded because every time you participate in table topic, you get that award.
Yes, yes, he does. Next, we have the Best Role Player Award, Timon, TDM, GE, and Tech.
Timod, Meenakshi.
Timo.
Yes, Best
No second
Role
doubt
Player
about it.
Award goes to Toastmaster Minakshi.
Yay, thank you.
That
Thank
calls
you,
for a
everyone.
party.
Oh my God, why am I on spotlight?
It's the party which is on the spot.
Okay, well, I'll be delighted to host a party. Thank you,
I'll be
everyone.
delighted to attend that.
Yes, Chanak, you'll have to go to Meerut, I believe, for that party.
Yes,
No, Meenakshi can come down to the Gurgaon.
Yes, I can host a party, but it's going to be a dry party with Sattvic food. Would you be interested? Would you
See,
still
party
be
is a party. Party is a party. Who said there is a
Anshuman is
it-
most excited. He said, "Woohoo!" I was actually planning to come today for this session, like in person.
no, let's do it next week. Let's meet in person next week.
I think we are
Yes.
still streaming.
Coming back to the awards that we completely deviated from, we have the Best Tag Role Player. We have two candidates, Language Evaluator, which was me, and Timer Toastmaster Vidu. Any guesses?
Vidu.
Toastmaster Shanak, any guesses?
Vidu.
And the Best
Undoubtedly.
Tag Team Role Player Award goes to Toastmaster Aryan. Thank you very much, everybody. That's why I did not want to alert the result. And thank you all for a great meeting. I do have one final surprise for all of you. So, did you know, anybody who has attended a lot of meetings, there is an extra role in Toastmaster meetings that a lot of people include that we have never included? Anybody, do you know what it is? Toastmaster Shanak, Toastmaster Anshuman?
Tech master, normally we don't.
Joke master.
Joke master.
Joke master.
Yeah, Joke Master. We have one more actually. Joke Master is one of the extra roles. There's one more.
Listener.
Yes.
Guest experience.
That is also there, which PO usually does. Listener is the role we did not think about today. And so there is a surprise entry of a new role into our meeting today. Listener, I guess, which will be me. And first, to demonstrate how the role works, I would like somebody to nominate themselves.
You
Anybody?
can pick and choose.
Okay,
We all
Toastmaster
are up
Shanak.
for it.
I choose Toastmaster Shanak. So, Toastmaster Shanak, we are testing how good of a listener you are today. Okay. I will ask you a question from the flow of the meeting and you have to answer correctly.
If I could.
There was a fish that was brought up in the meeting today. A fish that had how many eyes?
4.
All right. What is the fish known for?
For 4 eyes.
Okay. Would you happen to recall the name of this fish?
See, that was Anna.
Don't say Annabelle.
No, not Annabelle. Annapolis भी नहीं है. I'm not able to pronounce that. It's in my head, but let's pass that off.
It's okay. You can spell it. You can spell it. We'll be fine with that as well.
If I would have spelled it, I would have told you the name as well.
Okay. You got a 60%. All right. We'll take that question to somebody else. Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Sorry, not getting it.
Okay, no issues. Toastmaster Meenakshi, would you like to tell me the name of the fish?
Yes, let me give you much more information. The fish is called anablep. Anablep. Yeah. So why the fish has got 4 eyes? So that she can look at the surface for her prey. And below the surface, she can actually save herself from being hunted as well, which is why she has got 4 eyes, 2 above the surface, 2 below the surface. It's popularly known as 4-eyed fish, but the name is anablep.
All right. Thank you for that information.
Be like anablep.
Anybody who would like to be the next volunteer for the questioning listener role? Toastmaster
Yeah,
Harsh.
answered 2 out of 3.
Yes, 66%. Good work. Toastmaster Harsh,
Yes, bring it on.
if there was one person in this meeting room who is most likely to be a corrupt politician,
Hmm.
who would it be?
Toastmaster Kanksha.
Toastmaster answer, no offense, I hope not taken in an offensive manner either. Okay,
Old pains are being brought up.
okay. Toastmaster Harsh, one more question for you.
Okay.
If there was one person in this room that you would not trust with your dog, who would it be?
It's your dog. Can't recall.
Would you like to choose someone who can support you in this question? Nominate somebody and have them tell you the answer. Does that ring any bells?
Oh, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Yes. Okay, last question since we're close to out of time. Toastmaster Anshuman, would you like to answer a question?
You can try.
All right. So, a school nearby is holding a debate on the topic of Desh Prem, and you have to nominate a debater for your side. Who do you nominate?
The most corrupt person in right wing Toastmaster, according to Toastmaster Harsh. What a match.
Okay.
Oh God.
And
Really
that's it.
reflective of our nation's condition or not. Oh, God.
That's it for the listener role. That is all the questions I had. And thank you all for such a great